Clemens, I believe, had 7 Cy Youngs.
No.
Yeah, he won 3 in a row at one point, twice.
God, what a beast.
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast.
And then last one was Piazza, or sorry, 2 more, Piazza and Lofton. Piazza basically, steroids or not, you got to look at the guy, and he's the best power hitting catcher of all time. Probably the best hitting catcher of all time. You want to talk about Johnny Bench? I don't know. Piazza.
Campanella.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Before the incident.
Definitely the best power hitting catcher of all time.
But the fact that he's even in the top 5, if you're the top 5 at any position,
right? I
in
mean,
the history of baseball,
gotta be in. I mean, he's just
you could throw
that
in,
dominant
what about
in his
Mickey
position.
Cochran?
Right. In the early 1900s, late 1800s,
like before recorded history.
Before recorded history. All right. Yeah, last one was Lofton. Just because the guy's doesn't have his game based on power, you want to talk about PED use. He's got the numbers. I don't know if he was or wasn't, but if he was, who cares? He wasn't hitting home runs anyway.
Lofton was one of the best leadoff hitters of that generation.
Right. I mean,
if not the best.
Call him a compiler? Maybe. He put up really good numbers for a really long time. Game was based on speed, contact, not power. Don't even. I don't care about the era he was in. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think without a doubt.
On the numbers, he's in.
I think he's in. I think, if you want to go a little bit further, I think Tim Raines gets in. And if Tim Raines gets in, yeah, I'm willing to go that far.
Yeah.
I can stretch things a little bit. I think Raines gets in, and I think
he's close though. He was close in the last voting, wasn't he, Tim Raines?
Yeah, he's close.
He was close.
Another guy, compiler.
Yeah.
Similar average on base, stolen bases, good defense, played with a ton of teams.
Well,
I see a lot of similarities between the two. And if I'm going to go ahead and be a man of my word and put Raines in, I'm going to put Lofton in.
Well, the last ones, though, McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro, I got to go with no, just because when you put them up in the era that they were in against the rest of baseball history, they don't have that place that Bonds, Clemens, Piazza, those guys have either at their position or as overall
McGuire, Sosa
players.
each have over 600 home runs. For me, that's a shoo-in.
They're not like
Palmeiro,
the greatest outfielders of all time.
500 home
though.
runs, 3,000 hits. He's in.
Right, not one of the best outfielders of all time, though. I mean, in the era that they were in.
The requirement here is not to be the greatest of all time. It's to be Hall of Fame worthy. And they clearly are worthy of being enshrined.
Without PED use.
Okay, and that, again, on a
I'm
grander
not ignoring
scale.
it. I'm not ignoring it.
I have a hard time believing that anyone's done anything clean.
Well,
you don't get to where you get in life and become a Hall of Fame player without cutting some
corners. I'm
corners.
sure in the 60s they were doing it without steroids.
They were taking greenies.
Yeah.
I think
they're taking them now, too.
I think
what's your point?
All these guys did something to gain a competitive advantage.
All right. I'm looking at it in the PED era. McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro don't have the numbers that guys like Bonds and Clemens do. And even if they were using...
No one has the numbers that Bonds and Clemens have.
Right, and that's why I'm saying that even as they were using...
So even if
they
they're
put
cheaters,
up such
they're so
ridiculous
astronomically
numbers.
they're in.
Yeah, basically. And unless you put up things that are... Numbers that are that astronomical, I'm not putting you in guys like McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro. I'm just not.
Everyone's cheated. I think
you just got to be the best at cheating.
Like
is what
you're doing right now,
you're
saying, "Hey, I'm going to circle the 3 MVPs that I think Bonds won prior to his PED."
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that whether he was, yes.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Saying.
That's one argument. That's not the argument I'm making. I'm saying that using steroids, he was so ridiculously better than everyone else using steroids that I put him in.
So he beat the cheaters at the cheating game.
Basically, just be the best cheater, and that's how you know who the
Hall
of Famers are.
What if the pitchers, like for instance Clemens or countless other guys, were also cheating? Therefore, doesn't that diminish what you perceive to be cheating at the plate if he's beating another cheater?
No,
because I
think the steroids helped hitters more than they helped pitchers.
Why?
I don't know, just a gut feeling.
Do you think the steroids helped Clemens?
Yeah.
Clemens thought it helped Clemens
well,
because Clemens did
it. I mean, I don't know.
Allegedly, Clemens thought it helped Clemens because Clemens did it.
I mean, do I think it helped him with longevity, with extending his career? I don't know
how it helped him.
43? I mean, how long
are you a doctor?
I'm not a doctor.
Your father's a doctor.
Yeah, but
by association, does any doctor stuff rub off on you?
No, probably not. Like 10% of a doctor?
It's like nobody knows to what extent this helps, but we assume it helps. Otherwise,
I'm assuming
you wouldn't be doing
helps. When I look at the hitters and how the hitters played so much better in that era than the pitchers did, and if your premise is that the pitchers were doing it just as much as the hitters, then to me, just gut instinct is the hitters were helped way more than pitchers
In my opinion, it's fact. They should all be enshrined. If you want to go ahead and throw an asterisk on there, which I think is kind of ridiculous, it's what you did to Roger Maris. right?
I'm not throwing asterisks.
Like, oh,
That's
this isn't fair.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to make
stupid.
sure that all the future generations know that this wasn't fair.
I'm not throwing asterisks. If you're in, you're in. It's just you better be really, really good from that era if you want to get in. Like, really good.
It's ridiculous. Where does it start and finish?
Well, that, for me, is where it starts and finishes.
So from now on, do you have to be really, 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 really good?
No.
Heads and shoulders better than everyone
No.
else in the past?
I'm just talking about the era where performance-enhancing drug use was rampant, unregulated, and basically brushed under the rug.
I have a hard time putting a guy like Jim Rice in if you're not going to put in Sosa, McGuire, and Palmeiro.
Jim Rice was from a different era. He was from the non-PED era.
You're being awfully subjective here. And do we know that he was clean?
Well,
do
Hall
we
of
know
Fame
this?
voting is subjective. What's your point?
Yes, but it should be based on objective facts.
Yeah, tell that to the voters.
Otherwise, this is some sort of meaningless museum that I don't really particularly care about.
Tell that to the voters. It's subjective, man.
Okay, so let's switch gears one more time. That's all we do around here. We're just switching gears.
A lot of switching gears.
This is like, you ever go hiking?
No, never.
Obviously not. But
Never.
It's like a switchback. We're just like going left, we go right.
Do you hike?
I've hiked here and there.
I've done it. I don't.
I find hiking, honestly, to be kind of boring.
Yeah.
And
I don't
you know
like
what,
being
you know,
outside
You
that
know what I
much.
find funny? Are all these hikers that are like, I'm a hardcore hiker. I power walk. Have you ever powered walked with a 40-pound backpack? No.
Sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, like these people go off to Yosemite. I'm going to go to Big Bear. I'm going to go here and there. I'm going to walk around with a lot of stuff on my back.
No, thank you.
No thanks.
I don't like being outside that
Just
much,
hit the gym,
honestly.
right?
Yeah. Like treadmill. I like a treadmill.
Screw cardio.
Yeah,
This is lift.
it's true.
Just lift.
I like lifting more.
Just lift. Now, that's strenuous activity.
Yeah.
Walking, no matter how you want to slice or dice it, it's still walking. Call it what it is. You're a walker.
Yeah, we got
You're
sidetracked
not an
again.
athlete.
We got sidetracked again.
Did we? But that was the
Yeah.
point. We're doing these switchbacks.
Yeah, no, that's
So
true.
we're doing one more switchback.
One
Tom
more.
Brady will win the 2012 NFL MVP.
No, I think it's Adrian Peterson. I think he's having the best year of
Mhm.
anybody this year. I mean, it could be Peyton Manning.
So the
as
question
well.
is not what you think. What's going to happen? Will he win?
I think that Adrian Peterson is having the better year and will win.
So fiction. It's
Fiction.
going to go to Peterson.
I think it's going to Peterson.
Not your choice, but that's what's going to
Well,
happen.
first of all, if he breaks Eric Dickerson's total yards record, rushing record, then yes. Definitely yes. If not, the numbers are just so ridiculous this year coming back from that injury. And with what he has around him, nothing. I mean,
Christian
think it goes to
Ponder
him.
is atrocious.
yeah.
I agree with you. I agree.
Do you?
I do, because what he is doing is really impressive on its own when you factor in that he has no one around him.
Yeah.
He has no one around him. Christian Ponder, literally, if you look at the numbers, is putting up Mark Sanchez numbers. He obviously doesn't get talked about as much as Mark Sanchez, but Mark Sanchez is getting pulled left and right.
Yeah.
That kid is in danger of losing his job. Ponder should not have a job.
Yeah. No, Ponder
He's
should
smart.
thank God that he has Adrian
Hey, man, he
Peterson.
aced the Wonderlick. Nice job.
Yeah.
He's smart. He can make a lot of good decisions. He can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I think, considering what he's doing, considering that teams know what he's going to do, and he still does it, is impressive.
Right.
You look at Tom Brady, he's got Brandon Lloyd, he's got Wes Welker, Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski, Stephon
injured.
Ridley. He's got Belichick.
Gronk's
he has
injured.
the hooded wonder calling plays for him.
I'm not sure yes, does he have more weapons around him than a guy like Peterson
is
does?
doing
Yeah.
way more with far less than Tom Brady.
Yeah, but Brady has had more around him. A guy like Welker is not having the year that he has in previous years. Gronkowski's been hurt for a lot of the year.
Well, clearly, Adam,
He doesn't have
Tom
Randy
Brady-
Moss out there extending
Tom Brady
the
is
field
able
anymore.
to
I mean,
elevate these people to a different level. I
Yeah.
love people talk about, hey, if Amendola goes to the Patriots, oh my God, he's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Because you just know that Tom Brady has that effect on people.
I mean, Amendola's pretty good
he's good
on the Rams.
He has the skill set similar to Wes Welker.
Right.
And you know that if he goes there, Tom Brady is going to absolutely catapult and elevate him to a different level.
Yeah, I hate
He'll
it.
be talked about as an MVP.
It hurts to watch sometimes.
So I know you're a Peyton Manning fan. Is Peyton Manning in this conversation?
No, he's definitely in the conversation. I think that at the end of the day, Brady is higher up in the conversation. So it's between, for me, Brady or Peterson. And we have a lot of the season left.
Yeah, you're right.
Either one of these guys could pull ahead of the other one. I don't know. Just right now,
If
it's
Tom Brady
Peterson.
puts on another clinic like he did against the Texans,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'll sway my vote to Brady. But right here, right now, I'm going with Peterson. It's probably not a playoff team. And typically I do like to vote for guys that are on a winning team.
Mm.
But I think in this situation, considering what he's done, you have to
man,
go.
have the Pats looked good, though. God,
They've looked great.
They've looked good.
And, I think there's something to be said about being the best player on the best team.
Yeah.
But I think there's also something to be said about being the best player on a terrible team with nothing around you.
Yeah.
I mean, excelling when you should not excel, to me, is very impressive.
Right. I mean, they know what they're going to do every time. They're going to run the ball.
They load up the box.
He still rushes for 130 yards per game. Like one.
You look at the box
ridiculous.
score. Sometimes Ponders, at times he's put up like 90 passing yards, and they've still been able to scrap together a win. It's impressive. All right, Adam, that's it. We've been ranting and raving for a couple of hours here.
Yeah.
The show, unfortunately, it's got to come to an end. All good things got to come to an end. We're up against the clock, so we got to wrap this one up. Once again, I'm Morgan Spokney. He's Adam Topperoff. Until next week, be safe, take care, and good luck.